18th of January it is, wherever you're watching from East Africa and around the world. This is Citizen News at 1. I'm Jan2014. All right. The vetting of the second batch of top police officers by the National Police Service Commission entered day 2 today. The Director of Inspection, Stephen Chelimo, was the first to be interviewed and was challenged on the poor state of police stations across the country. Chelimo, however, defended himself, saying hurdles in implementing the Rapid Response Initiative in the police service are due to poor funding and equipping of police stations, resulting in underperformance. And of course, the vetting process is still on. Let's take a look at what is happening at the moment.
He overread it, so he missed it. So thank you very much. With this, Mr. Kitili, we think we have interacted with you enough. But we'd like to offer you an opportunity, in case you have any other statement you wish to make to this vetting panel, as your parting shot. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. First and foremost, I want to thank this panel for giving me this opportunity to appear before you. I know this is an history in making in the Kenya Police. It's a turning point. I think I can use the famous quotation which is being said currently by everybody, that we are moving from analog to digital.
All right, that is Joel Mboya Kitili of Police Headquarters being grilled there, giving his final remarks. Of course, we'll be giving you details of that particular report in our subsequent bulletin, so keep it Citizen Television. In the meantime, a case challenging night travel's ban on public service vehicles will now be heard tomorrow. The case filed by bus operators was certified as urgent by High Court Judge David Majanja, who asked the petitioners to serve respondents. Now, according to the bus operators, the ban was unconstitutional and continues to hurt businesses in the sector. The petition is to be served on the Ministry of Transport and the National Transport Safety Authority, who are the respondents. The operators argue that they were not given an opportunity to demonstrate that they were licensed to operate at night as per the previous laws. The operators moved to court, even as Transport Cabinet Secretary Engineer Michael Kamau maintained that the new regulations will be implemented to the letter. Now, closer home, over 180,000 people remain displaced in South Sudan, with about 70,000 of those from Bor, the capital of Jonglei State. Living conditions have gone from bad to worse, with many living under trees and destroyed buildings. Fighting continues in parts of Unity State, where rebels allied to Riek Machar continue with their aggression, even as talks enter the face-to-face stage.
1 month into the conflict in South Sudan, and many more continue to flee their homes. Our rural town in Lakes State continues to receive thousands of people seeking refuge, most from neighboring Bor town, which has since fallen into the hands of the rebels. But despite this relative peace in this town, the risk of waterborne diseases is imminent, as many have taken refuge under trees and destroyed buildings, all with poor sanitation. South Sudanese rebels and a government delegation are expected to hold face-to-face talks today in efforts to try to end fighting that has left the world's newest state on the brink of civil war.
Now, back home, 3 people were killed and 6 others injured last night at Dukana in North Hor, MARSABIT County. Cattle raiders from the neighboring Ethiopia are suspected to have attacked the Gabra community and made away with hundreds of heads of cattle to Ethiopia.
Renewed fresh attacks descended on Dukana village in North Hor, claiming the lives of 3 residents.
Well done. Well done.
6 people sustained injuries, with 3 others reportedly in critical condition. The 3 were airlifted to Wilson Airport and taken to Kenyatta National Hospital for specialized treatment.
They sustained gunshot wounds. I'm sure you're all aware that there's been clashes up north, northern Kenya. So we were called and requested to evacuate these patients.
The militia from Borana community managed to drive away hundreds of cattle across the Kenyan border to Ethiopia.
We are unable to confirm the numbers of animals, but personally I can tell because we've been on phone on the ground. Camels, it could be up to 100 that have not been recovered yet.
It is suspected that the operation was a retaliation between the 2 conflicting communities of Gabra and Borana.
For the past, I think since the elections, this kind of attacks have been there in Moyale area, and now it's like it's spreading to the wider MARSABIT county. It could be a continuation of the same.
It is clearly political. It's clearly, there's no two way about it, because people are not fighting over the grazing land or grazing right, or people are not fighting over the water catchment, as DC of Moyale, I think, commented yesterday in the media. You cannot kill students and you say the Boranas and Gabras fought over the water catchment.
Cases of insecurity has been on the rise in the region, with more than 100 people dead and 1,000 displaced in the last 5 months. Area County Governor Ukuri Yatani is calling for peace and ceasefire. Brenda Cheriot, Citizen at 1.
You know, the enduring memory of Phyllis Kandiye in the minds of many is that of a visibly intimidated woman, stuttering and stammering confused responses to a barrage of questions from MPs who had clearly scented blood. But the East African Commerce and Tourism Cabinet Secretary nominee survived the harsh vetting exercise, of course, to land the plum appointment. 6 months later, the 48-year-old has settled to her job like a duck to water. She speaks to Evelyn Wambui about her troubled interview and her aspirations in 2014.